Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Welcome to the AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hello, hello. Ready to talk some wrestling. Another Monday.
And today we are also joined by our roving reporter, the Road Raider himself, Mr. Tom Zambino. How are you doing?
Yo, yo, yo. Ready for a snark attack?
Yes, and we're also ready for our Rollins report, because we haven't had that in a while. But yeah, hopefully that goes well. So, what are you guys' overall thoughts without giving away your grades or anything? What do you think? I'll go with Tom first since he hasn't been around for a while, so hopefully we can hear his take on the current state that he feels WWE's in.
This pay-per-view sure was.
Sure was what? That's it? I don't even know what that means.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, Delisha, what about you? How'd you feel about it?
Actually, pretty much my sentiments exactly.
See, I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the pay-per-view after what we've been seeing lately. But before I get started, let me say hi to the people in chat. We have...
I like the runtime.
Oh yeah, the runtime was actually great too. We have Tom, who's already here with us. We have Rain, hey girl, hey. Delisha, welcome. And Slater, how you doing? Yeah, I think right before this show went on air, we were talking about like, oh, thank God it ended like in recent time because I wake up super early when I have school. Hey, Michaela, how are you? Welcome as well. But yeah, we're like, it's a Clash Champions. All the belts are gonna be on the line. Usually, title matches are supposed to be longer than most other matches, but we got lucky and we didn't have to stay up that late, so it was pretty great. Pretty much sums it up right there. Yeah. But I kind of enjoyed this pay-per-view because, you know, I do like seeing championship matches, and this is pretty much all championship matches except for one, which had a great ending in my opinion. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I hope you guys like the new format. Like, I know some of you guys' critique was last time was that our heads were kind of stretched. So I remember telling you guys that we designed this, or I should say I designed it to have a three-person call, so that's why we're now more condensed. But I even condensed it a little bit more and added a heading at the top where we're about talking about on the left-hand side, top left-hand side, you see what pay-per-view we're currently at, and then the next one will be covering Hell in a Cell, where the pay-per-view is going to be on October 6th, and the AfterMat will be on October 7th. So I hope you guys enjoy that new layout and all that. So I guess with that said, let's get ahead and get started and talk about Clash of Champions 2019. And the first pre-show match was the Cruiserweight Championship featuring Drew Gulak, okay, I think Lindsay Dorado, and Humberto Carrillo, maybe? Carrillo?
You got it.
Yes!
Yeah, as people know, 205 is probably like the lowest tier of the cards here. Although I kind of put that in NXT UK kind of the same plane, as in I usually don't have time to watch them. So, and they usually are put on the pre-show, so I don't know, not much thought is usually given to them. Although that might change in the future. But this match was pretty alright. I mean, since I'm not following a lot of the storylines on 12 Hard currently. Sorry guys, I will try to catch back up maybe when in a week or so. I don't know. But again, there's so much good stuff going on that I keep forgetting to tune in. So I don't know how these three came about, but on their own, they're pretty good workers in their own right. Umberto, we saw a lot during the Cruiserweight Classic. And then he's been doing a lot. I know that he's been doing some showings on the card lately. So he's been like getting up and up on the card. And apparently he was a quote unquote student of Drew, as they stated during commentary. So I presume they had something going on there that turned sour. Otherwise, they wouldn't really be fighting each other in this match. And then we had Dorado, who was part of. Was he? I don't know if he was part of. Is he part of Lucha House Party?
Mm-hmm.
No. Real? Yeah. Okay.
Probably, I think so.
Asking the wrong guy.
I think they said that during the promo. That's the only reason why I know that.
Just didn't want to make exceptions because he's a masked luchador wrestler, that he's part of Lucha House Party. But anyway, this match is fine. The only thing that really was cool to me was Drew had, I think, Lindsay on his shoulders, and then Umberto came and did some sort of little flippy move on the outside to bring them all to the floor, whatever. And then I don't know what Lindsay's one of his signature moves is, but he did something on the top rope to, I believe, or it might have been Umberto onto Lindsay, and then Drew Gulak pushed him out of the ring. There's a lot of pushing people out of the ring on this pay-per-view. This was just the first of the matches to do so, to get the roll up on to Lindsay, which it was kind of weird because, not weird, because you can hear the ref tell him that his shoulders were not on the mat. So it was the details, guys, small details. Or just not close enough to the mic that the audience on TV can hear you. But all in all, it was fine. The cruiserweight matches are never bad. They usually go from fine to good to great. So this one was just fine. But it might be just because I didn't know the background story, what was going on with them.
We gotta say hi to Sky Inc. Welcome, Sky. How are you? Tom, did you get a chance to watch this match, or should I just go to my commentary? Because I don't know if you watched the pre-show.
God, no, I don't watch the pre-show. And hell no, I'm not gonna watch the freaking cruiserweights.
So
flippy, wrestle, match over. That's the cruiserweights.
See, cruiserweight were probably my favorite division in WCW when they had it, So that I loved it back with Jericho and all those guys.
Yeah, but that's when they put effort in there and they had people with charisma.
Yeah, see that, but the thing is, we don't know because we don't watch 205 Live, right? So we don't even know if they have charisma and all the things they talk about and all that kind of stuff. So
there are those who are there who are really great. It's just that
there's no effort put into it.
There is now.
Yeah, but it's like the 5th show, so
yeah, that's what it is. It's just it's on the priority of wrestling shows.
Yeah.
It is not high up, which is why I think they made that announcement that they might be incorporating them more into the NXT brand.
Yeah,
So
because
good idea.
give them some
they
more
tried to do it
exposure.
into Raw, but didn't really work out that well. I feel like Total Divas and Total Bellas get more, and even Miz and Mrs. gets more like hyped in this show. 205 Live. And welcome Halo _ Smythe. Welcome. One thing I want to say is so I think it was Humberto Carrillo, who I think we definitely saw at like Raw or SmackDown when we went in Philly. That whenever they taped 205 Live, I think he was in one of those matches that we went to. So, I don't know. However, like that match, so he did he kind of did like a moonsault, like he did a split-legged, not like split-legged moonsault, but he kind of used he was on the top, then he used like the top rope as a I don't even know how to explain it. He was on the top turnbuckle, jumped off of it into the rope, and used that as like a propellant to like flip onto Lince Dorado, and then like you said, Drew Gulak throw him out. And this is the part I had trouble with that Delisha pointed out was that he did a belly to back suplex into a German suplex into a pin, right? And the referee was doing his job, saying like, look, hey, the guy's shoulder's not down. But it wasn't Gulak that spun him onto it. Like, Lince Dorado's like, oh, wait. And Lince put his shoulder down. Like, it wasn't Gulak that maneuvered the shoulder down. Like, the guy who's actually getting pinned helped get pinned. And that's what took away from it. It would have been okay if, like, his shoulder wasn't down and Gulak moved, and the referee's doing his job, kind of like, not the whole Samoa Joe thing that happened with Rey Mysterio, but, like, that's what ticked me off, is that, like, Lince put his shoulder down himself, kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, is he back? Is it? Yeah, we can. And like, is the bot on? I don't know. Maybe the bot's on. Oh, because it's going through my Streamlabs. That's why it's on. Normally it's through my Minicam. It doesn't go on. But yeah, so it was a pretty good match. There's some good spots with like dives to the outside as you expect, but I just didn't like the ending, like you said, the shoulder up. Any other thoughts about this match before we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
And we know Tom's thoughts. Okay.
What's a cruiserweight?
I'm sure you can hear my keyboard when I hit it too. The next match is also a pre-show match, which we saw AJ Styles on the pre-show, defending his United States Championship against Cedric Alexander. This Cedric Alexander came out like a house of fire. He landed the Michinoku driver right from the beginning, went for the pin, and AJ kind of looked like he was out. Like he thought, oh, maybe he's gonna pull a 1-2-3 kid, old school reference for you people. With the same equivalent, card tier, I guess, when Razor Ramon's like mid card kind of thing, on AJ to win the belt, but AJ kicked out, but Cedric kept pouring the offense on, and he had some really good offense, some high flying moves, some stiff shots. Eventually, I think once again AJ actually sent the OC back, so they weren't there to interfere or anything. And eventually, AJ came back and worked the momentum, hit his signature moves, and then hit the phenomenal forearm, and then hit a nice Styles clash. And Cedric took it cleanly, like he took it very well. Like normally you can see them put their hand out kind of like that, but his arms were like pinned back and everything, so it was like a nice like flush on the ground, old school Styles clash that he rolled over it into a pin like he used to do as well. I know he's had trouble doing that with people like Samoa Joe and such. But Cedric Alexander, very lithe and flexible and all that, took it perfectly, got pinned, and then the OC came out and continued beating up on Cedric Alexander. But it was a pretty good match. I mean, AJ's been getting less work. I think his schedule's been a little bit easier too, but they're just kind of get this OC thing going on. I guess until maybe Balor comes back and they can hand it over to Balor, and then AJ can take his break or whatever. But I enjoyed this match, and I didn't really know much about Cedric Alexander. I think he's one of those 205 Live guys, I think. So I know I saw him in a few other matches prior to that, but I really thought he was good here. He won the championship, right? Didn't he? This one I enjoyed because it was against AJ, and both of them are great competitors, and it worked very well for them. They both showcased themselves very well. Your thoughts? I have time to watch pre-show, so Delisha.
Yeah, this is one of the matches that I enjoyed pretty well. I was kind of upset that it was on the pre-show. I mean, one, you have Cedric, who's in his hometown, like not just home state, hometown of Charlotte, so that's why he got a major pop. And one, it's for the U.S. Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I always get U.S. Intercontinental, no matter who's the champion. I always get them too confused. Um, but speaking of, they literally could have switched those two matches because, uh, that's in my opinion, it's Miz and Shinsuke who should have been on the
Mm-hmm.
pre-show, and not because I don't like Miz and Shinsuke. It's just that when we get to it, I'll explain why. But yeah, Cedric is always great. They built a really good story around him these last couple of weeks to build up to this match, which I can't say for a lot of the other ones on the card. So that was pretty cool. It was one of the matches that had a full circle storyline from beginning, middle, end. So that's what I really liked about this match as well.
Now, Cal, I do have thoughts here,
Okay.
even though I didn't actually watch it, because I saw the highlights during the actual show and thought, what the hell is AJ Styles doing on the pre-show? He's he's one of your top stars. He's constantly on Raw and SmackDown. So I hear. He's constantly rocking on the mic and feuding with Kofi and feuding with Seth, and he's on the freaking pre-show with Cedric Alexander, the dude who is famous for being competitive with Drew McIntyre. Come on, like if you couldn't embarrass the OC enough with our next match, you gotta embarrass them a little bit more by putting their leader on the pre-show. This sucks.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I didn't expect him to be on the pre-show, but they did put out a good show. Like, and I agree with Alicia. They might have been better off switching the U.S. Intercontinental matches in their position in the show. But this was an all-in-all good match. I enjoyed this match. Maybe one of my favorite. I don't think it was my favorite of the night. There was one later on that I enjoyed more, which I didn't expect to enjoy, but there was one later on that I enjoyed more. But
Also, is AJ working a 5-minute match his version of just taking a paycheck and going home?
yeah, because he requested time off like a while back, and he didn't really get it yet. So I think
Fair enough.
they're lightening his schedule. All right, that brings us to our next match, and Tom's back at doing his Rollins report because it features the WWE tag. No, what are they called? The Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman against Dolph Ziggler and Ravishing Rick Rude. Just kidding, Bobby Roode. Because he's got the Ravishing Rick Rude mustache.
There's an obvious reference here that only a few people are catching,
and that's my second old school WWE reference. We should have that as a contest. Like how many old school references I can do since I'm like that old school guy.
I feel like this is a drinking game that would probably kill most of your watchers here.
It's like, but would they even know that I'm doing it, right? We did like a ticker on the screen. Like I had the 1, 2, 3 kid, and then I had this guy. So I got to see if I won every match. Oh, I didn't win the beginning. Oh no, I did the WCW.
You did.
Cruiserweight.
You did.
So I won per match. All right.
All right.
Let's see if I can keep this up.
So we have Hack Job Tag Team number 1 going against Hack Job Tag Team number 2 with Dolph and Rude against Rollins and Braun, and I'm not going to waste your time like WWE did, and we're just going to skip right to the end when Braun pushed Rude into Seth, knocks Seth down, Rude DDTs, we all go home. They get the championships off them, and they look even worse for it. Thanks, Raw Tag Team Championships. You now mean nothing.
See, like
Okay.
I don't mind them being on Rude and Ziggler because I think they're a good team and they would be great on the mic as well, both of them.
But they're not a good team yet.
Yeah.
They've had like one match
I
besides
know.
this one.
Would it have been better on the OC or something? Yeah, probably. But and there's a slew of other tag teams like we could talk about.
Or the Viking dudes.
Right, but I think they're too new, as in call ups, not as put into a tag team together, as in a call up, that kind of too new.
Didn't we try this before with Rude and Gable?
Yeah, I know. I like Ziggler. I mean, I feel like they gotta do something with him because like, I just feel like they gotta do something. That's the only reason why they did that. But as always, I want to see where this goes because I don't mind like going to some other tag team like the Viking Raiders or even the Authors of Pain if they ever come back or whatever it is, Bludgeon Brothers, all those kind of people. I don't mind seeing them as the champions. But right now with no one like there for like established, it's not bad to put it on. They had to get it off these guys, right? I'd rather have seen it on Drew, maybe better on Drew and Ziggler instead. Would you give him that?
Have they been a thing in a while? Delisha, you watch these things. Have they been a thing?
No, Drew had surgery and then got sick, so he's gonna be out for a little bit.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I would
sad.
rather have seen it as because they were a thing recently, right? It was like Shawn Michaels Diesel kind of thing again.
Well,
Uh,
like 3 months ago, but yeah,
yeah, so I mean, I could have
or
seen
like
that
two
happen.
pay-per-views ago. But and then they went through this whole "it should have been me" thing with the Dolphin. Yeah,
Mm.
so yeah.
All right, Deletion, your thoughts on this match?
Well, the first time I watched this match, I didn't watch it because I was in Lowe's trying to replace a light bulb. Um, and then I put it on before we started and still got bored, and so I didn't pay attention. So that's pretty much how I feel. I don't care. I didn't care. I didn't really care about Braun and stuff being together. I mean, it was fun with their segments on Raw. That was fine, but we all knew this probably wasn't lasting. And then Dolph and Root, I haven't been into them in probably like 2,000 years. So they really have to work hard to get me back on board. But that's just me. I don't know if other people feel that way. I like them individually for what they've done, but they haven't done anything lately to make me like a fan. So we'll see.
Yeah, um, I think we all knew going to this match that Rollins and Strowman would drop the titles, and it would probably be some kind of miscommunication that would fuel their match at the end of the night. Because I knew I was pretty sure that this was going to be the first match and they were going to be the last match. I think I even numbered it that way too when I was doing my slides, even before it happened. But yeah, we knew that was going to happen, so no one's surprised. And I mean, it had to be a short match too because just like I remember when we went into Royal Rumble that year. I think Sheamus and Cesaro were fighting later on the night, and the men's Royal Rumble was first, so they got thrown out within like a few seconds of entering the ring because they had to fight later on. So that's how the WWE handles it. And welcome, Big Time. How are you? But yeah, props to Delisha for going to the Lowe's and changing the light bulbs for them. Did you charge them
Yeah.
by the hour, or no?
I should have got money for the time I spent in there looking for the right light bulb. Um,
All right. So with that match done, let's go ahead to the next match. We have the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley against hometown girl Charlotte Flair. And apropos that, Big Time Gaming came in at this time because Big Time's favorite is Charlotte Flair. Also, I had Halo. I think if she's still here, I told Halo to enter a contest because she has a chance of meeting Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. And I told her to give it to you if she wins Big Time because I know you're a big Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair fan. So if she does win and she does enter and does win, I'll let her know to contact you because you'd have to go to Atlanta, but I know you're not that far from there. So you can meet Rick and Charlotte Flair Big Time if you're still listening, and Halo enters for you. All right, sorry about that, Delisha. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, this match was short, so this recap was going to be short. Charlotte came out the gate with in some intensity because of how they were feuding the last 2 or 3 weeks. Boots to the face of Bayley, throwing her into the sideline area, and then Bayley doing her tweener heel moves of unbuckling the bottom turnbuckle while the ref was distracted with Charlotte. Head into turnbuckle, said turnbuckle, roll up pin. Bayley wins. Hightails it out of there like a smart woman. Um, and then apparently, according to Cal, Charlotte is still chasing her. So that's what I'm choosing to believe in my head canon. But Bayley's still champion. I do like that she's not full heel yet. She's kind of like I I heard like a really good comparison. She's kind of like Anakin Skywalker right now, to with I guess Sasha being Char. Um,
The Emperor.
uh, yeah, because Bailey isn't fully turned, dark. She's more like, I'm doing this for you to teach the kids about loyalty, and while Sasha's like, yes, this is what we wanted. This is what I wanted the whole time. So I don't know. I am intrigued more in Bailey than I've been probably in the last 2 years. So I'm kind of hoping that we kind of play with this in betweener stage for her for a little bit, and then maybe turn her fully heel, like do what we couldn't do with John Cena. Like let's just go full in with writing her as like a legit heel, and I think her and Sasha could do some cool things with that.
Yeah, I mean, welcome back, Michaela. And if Halo's still here, I'll let Halo know about it. Big Time. If not, I'll message her after. If you're up to going to Atlanta and meeting Ric Flair, if she wins, I'll let her know to enter on your behalf. Yeah. So I don't even know what Bailey is because I don't watch the shows. All I saw is like in Fast Forward, I saw her hit Becky Lynch, I think it was, with the chair, and then everyone's like, oh, she turned heel and all that kind of thing. But then like the next night she comes out and like does her normal, the Mister Wacky waving,
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
yes, and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Tom. And like, so I don't know what she is really, because I don't listen to like the promos, so I don't know if she's a heel or a face. And but the promo I saw at Clash of Champions, it was just stupid. Like she really didn't do anything. She's like kind of like twirled her mustache as Sasha Banks talked, kind of thing. Pretty much like that. Like the villains go like that kind of thing. That's kind of what she was doing. She didn't really have much input thing. She's had like fake laughs and all that, so she wasn't very good. But
well, Bailey's strength is not the mic. That's Sasha's more better of the two, more better than that. So I would see why they would have her talk there more. Because this is a new, I guess, phase for Bailey. She's always been a face. I'm pretty sure since she started from NXT on out. So this is an uncharted territory for us all. So I until like they lean into it, I don't think we'll see her do like any like heel promos or anything like that. It's gonna be that towing the line.
Right.
I feel like we're gonna still see like face like promos, but towing the line in the ring. So that's why I feel like we're going right now.
And this keeps it intact where Charlotte's like only lost once in a singles pay-per-view match cleanly. And that was to Bailey, I believe, as well. But other than that, she's like never lost cleanly in a singles pay-per-view match, something like that. Might maybe twice, but I know definitely once was to Bailey. Tom, any thoughts about this match before we move on?
Yeah, this reminded me of something, and I remember this because I was a teenager at the time. In 2002, there was because it was 2002, there was a bikini match between Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson with literally the exact same finish as this match. And not that far from the runtime of that match. So I thought that was pretty funny that they redid that, but it was fine. Charlotte threw Bailey around for a while. Bailey did heel things, kind of, and they made the people of Charlotte mad, I guess.
I'm trying to think of some old school reference for this, but I can't even think of it. I guess you took it with that the bikini match with Stacy and Tori.
Something Ric Flair?
Yes.
Come on, Cal. You can do
I
this.
don't know. I have no idea.
Charlotte forces Ric Flair isms on us. You should too.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this Bailey thing. Like, I wasn't interested in this match at all, so it didn't really matter to me. Bailey as champion is not something for me. I need
This match sure was.
All right. Next match featured the New Day, represented by Big E Langston and Xavier Woods, defending their SmackDown Tag Team championships against, I think that's the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Yeah, bikini match. They used to have that a lot back in the day when women weren't women; they were divas and stuff like that. And
women weren't women.
they were divas and ballets. They weren't superstars. I meant.
We say back when, but let's face it, Corey Graves is basically still Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think, Delisha, you're doing the New Day match, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this time we had New Day kind of looking for some revenge on the Revival because they took out Xavier a few weeks back. I think along with Randy Orton while they were still doing this whole like Kofi Orton feud. I said it like it's not over. Yeah, so they kind of took him out, and then they did go after Big E. So they were kind of looking for some revenge in this match. And although it did seem split pretty even between the two as far as like getting the upper hand, but the match itself, the only thing worth noting is the end, to where Dash and Wilder were kind of playing around with Xavier, exposing that knee with the sleeve. I don't know if this is like if he had like a legit knee issue to deal with, or this is again playing up the injury itself in and of itself. But they do a little brutal of I don't know what that submission move is called, if it even has a name. Probably does. I just don't know it. To get Xavier to tap, because they took out Big E on the apron a few moments beforehand. But all in all, this is kind of cool. With the Revival getting the tag team championships. Well, I think this is their first time getting a SmackDown.
Yeah, because I think they're the first team to win like 2 times to win
all the
NXT,
tag teams.
2-time NXT, 2-time Raw, and now 1-time SmackDown.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty interesting to see what they do with that, especially now, I guess, when they're paired with Randy still, maybe. We shall see. But I like that they did a play on it is now a new day, because they're the old school, championship type team. So let's see what they can play around with. Yeah, I feel like they could do something really good as the heels of the division right now.
Yeah,
But I do know you were probably happy to see New Day lose. I
of
didn't care
course.
either way, but because I still like the New Day, but I do like it. They do better putting other teams over at this point in time in their career.
And like you're still gonna see the New Day doing their thing. You don't need to have them on the titles on them. Like I said, I'd rather see the Usos with the titles. They're still gonna do their thing, throwing pancakes out, making the crowd laugh and enjoy. Like they're great for the entertainment aspect, but you don't need to see them as hold the belts because I feel like anybody else can hold the belts and it'll be just more. It'll be like I said more fitting on the Revival. And welcome, Arrington. How are you? I think it'll be good on the Revival because, like, I know Big Time's always been talking really high about the Revival, so now I get to finally see what they do. Even though they were champions prior, but that was like I think they were about to walk out of the company and they just gave them the title and they lost it. They're about to walk out again, give them the title, kind of thing, whatever it was. But now we'll see how they do as they're paired with Orton, and I guess if they're still paired with Orton and they're champions, let's see how it goes. Because now we kind of have like the OC as a stable kind of thing, and we have this for the RKO, I think it's called, stable. We're still waiting on the Indian stable, led by me, kind of thing. But it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. They need, like, a thing. But, yeah, I'm happy that the Revival have it. Like I said, the New Day, their thing's getting old, but, they do what they got to do, and they're always going to do that because the fans love it. Another thing that Big Time said earlier was that about Corey Graves, I think, because Tom brought that up. He says he's a good on-commentary thing. Yeah, he does. He's very good about, like, he's kind of like a Joe Rogan when it comes to the MMA thing. When if you're talking about UFC, because Joe Rogan is the color commentator, but he also could do great play-by-play when he talks about like the moves and stuff, and that's what Corey Graves is good at, calling the moves as well. When Michael Cole won't know certain moves, like Corey Graves could jump in and give the actual moves and stuff. So he's actually a good on commentary, even though he's a color commentator. So that's my thoughts. Any other thoughts on this match, Tom?
Yeah, like you, I'm kind of happy the New Day dropped the titles because I do think they're kind of boring, and I think they're in a weird place with Kofi as champion, where they're like picking up the belts and dropping them, and sometimes they're used as props to get beat up, and it's become a thing. It's weird having a heel or a face stable with the champion. It's weird. So I'm glad that they dropped the tag titles because these Revival dudes, they seem cool. They got cool music. They look tough. So good on them. They're a real tag team with championships. Good on them being a real team.
And they have a good finisher too. They
do. That was
I don't know what it's called, but it's like cool. Someone in the chat will probably know the name of the finisher, like Arrington or Big Time.
Graves, help us.
We don't have our fact checker with us.
It's like a 3D, but into a code breaker. I think it's called, right? When he puts like the face.
Yeah, that's what it's called. A 3D into a code breaker.
That's what they should just call it. Trademark that right now. Put that on a shirt. A 3D into a code breaker. Whatever. But yeah, so no more thoughts on this match. We're gonna go on to the next match, which finally I get to talk. It's the Women's Tag Team Championship, because it's not SmackDown or Raw, right? It's just Women's Tag Team Championship.
Correct.
Featuring Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against... what do they call these people? Is it Fire?
Fire and Desire.
Fire and Desire. I was going to say Fire and Ice. Fire and Desire. Fire, I guess, being Sonya Deville. Desire being Mandy Rose.
Some people.
What, to some people? Yeah, that's true. Welcome, Arrington, on Twitch as well. Thank you. And I think Tom messaged me right when this match started, or the promo back in the day started, saying that Alexa Bliss in-ring gear is very beautiful tonight, and I said thank you. I had something to do with that. She runs by. You
picked well, Cal.
Yeah. She runs a bunch of the choices by me, and I go by which one I like for the day. So that's the one I went with. It was a pretty. I kind of want to see maybe a rematch against Iconics or at least Asuka and Io Shirai, the Kabuki War. Are they called the Kabuki Warriors, or am I just making that up?
Yes.
Okay,
But are we sure they exist? I haven't seen them, so they must
exactly.
be like
But like,
unicorn.
I don't know why these two have a shot. I'd rather have seen the Iconics or the Kabuki Warriors
Well,
against.
they got a pin on them on
Yeah,
SmackDown.
I saw that, but I mean, like, okay, they got, yeah, like, I understand that logic, but I'm just saying, like, I, what comes to like wrestling real logic, like, I'd rather have seen like those other people against them, especially the Kabuki Warriors, because I think they deserve the title. I think eventually Alexa and Nikki are gonna break apart because of some, you know, everyone's thinking
Schism.
Alexa's gonna turn her back on her, but I feel like Nikki's gonna be the one that like goes crazy and like why don't you love, kind of like the whole Mickey James kind of thing with Trish Stratus, like
Oh,
why
that'd
don't
be
you
awesome.
why don't you oh, there's my old school reference, by the way. I didn't think of that, but like a Mickey James kind of like, I love her so much that like she's not giving me the same attention back kind of thing, and Nikki goes crazy back to her sanity kind of thing. Speaking of sanity, what happened to sanity? Who knows?
They dispersed.
Did they?
Mhm.
Okay.
Eric Young is still around. Killian Dane went back to NXT, and the other guy, I think Axel was released, I believe.
Wait, isn't the other guy Alexander Wolf?
Yes.
He's in the stable in NXT UK, I think,
Oh, okay. Then he went to NXT UK then. So yeah.
called Imperium or something like that. Whatever
Might
it's
as well have
called.
been released.
So oh yeah. Anyway, back to the real match that we're talking about. Yeah, NXT UK. There you go. Thank you, Arrington. I'm just looking at Alexa Bliss. She looks so good there. Anyway, she was in the ring earlier on. They kind of dominated her. Then Nikki Cross got tagged in, and you know, did her Nikki Cross crazy thing. Came in like a house fire, just like much like Cedric Alexander earlier in the night. But eventually, I think Sonya Deville got tagged in and was able to stymie Nikki Cross. A lot of knees were thrown by like the Fire and Desire. Sonya threw like 2 or 3. Mandy Rose threw 2 or 3. Alexa got back into the ring and they dominated her as well. And that's when like they did the double team, like the sweep with a knee, running knee. So I think Sonya Deville did the sweep and Mandy Rose did the running knee. They tried to pin Alexa Bliss, but I think Nikki Cross broke up the pin. Eventually, I think Nikki and what do you call it? Nikki. Alexa and Mandy punched each other at the same time, and he got knocked out. And there's a hot tag, and Nikki Rennet came in again. I think knocked Sonya Deville off the apron and hit the whatever that move is. It's kind of like a hanging neck breaker maybe in the corner of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, and got the 1-2-3 pin, and then Alexa and Nikki retains. So basically Nikki did a lot of the work. The best spot for me obviously was I really love the move. Alexa Bliss's double knee into a back handspring into another double knee kind of thing that she does, and I think she asked the Twitter universe like, what should I name that? And I think I gave the name that, because if you know anything about Alexa, she's a huge fan of Disney, so I said she should call the move Dis-Knees, like Dis-Knees, because that'd be great. And I don't know. And welcome, Dragon Lord. How are you? So yeah, I think that's what they should go with. And if they do name that and they hear it here, make a shirt about it, put my face on it, put Alexa's face on it, and there you go. And then the Indian stable as well. We're going to go to Tom now first for this match. What do you think? Any thoughts on this match? So once again, retaining the titles are Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
So apparently Mandy almost killed Bliss off the top rope, so I'm guessing there was a botch involved here. I did not see it.
I didn't see that.
I to be honest, I didn't really pay a huge amount of attention to this. I mean, everyone in the match is good. It seemed like they did okay. Fire and Desire are pretty cool if they actually let Sonya do something for once. She can rattle off a few cool moves, but they didn't really let her do that, I don't think. So yeah, Nikki Cross looked good. Once again, she, like you said, she did most of the work, so it was fine. Fine match.
Before I go to Delisha, thanks to Big Time, who said that it was a botched hair toss off the top rope.
Oof, that sounds like a bad idea. Why did they do that?
Now with
Especially
those
someone, especially as someone as green as Mandy. I know she's been there for like a year or two now, maybe more even. but like I don't think her wrestling has been there. She's been more like that valet thing that we've been talking about earlier. I know she's been wrestled and she's gotten like a lot of praise for her wrestling, but I don't think she's still like in a big spotlight match kind of thing. I don't think she's had that big spotlight pay-per-view experience kind of thing. I know she's probably done a few pay-per-views. I know that, but not like this kind of like just all eyes on them kind of thing in a tag team championship match. All right, so go ahead, Delisha. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, you forgot about the best spot of the match was the 24/7 championship. Come on now.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yes.
Just kidding. It was kidding. This was it was a okay match. And that 24/7 spot was pretty. It was fun. Whenever R-Truth was involved, it's been a lot of fun. And it was also we almost got Alexa Bliss as the 24/7 champion, so that actually would have been pretty fun to see her double belted as like the 24/7 champion and the tag team champion. Anyway, I know people think that they don't really like the 24/7 championship, but it could be way worse, guys. Could be way worse. So be glad that R-Truth is making the best of this that it could possibly. But getting back to the tag team, I don't know what happened to the lusterness of this division. It started with great promise, and it's just been lackluster basically since the Iconics got it at WrestleMania. And that's not really like a knock to the Iconics. I think that they are great, and when they're given the spotlight to shine, like they are great. It's just like it always seems like the tag team. Well, I guess in a way they kind of are on par with the male championship because at times it has its times of being the most unrepresented championship on the card. But when it's something new, you should try to make it as a big deal as possible. But I feel like we're just not in that position at the moment. I don't feel like the fans are responding to Alexa and Nikki. It might be because they're kind of like face-ish, and we all like our Alexa Hill. So it could be that, but to me, I just feel like they aren't really responded to as champions per se. So I really thought that they were probably going to give it to Mandy and Sonya because at least they could maybe do something with it. Anyway, so I don't know. I really don't know where we go from here with either team, or I did see earlier that it's gonna be not. I mean, that's not spoiled because they announced it earlier. Sasha and Bailey are in a match against Nikki and Alexa. Didn't say for titles, but for some reason that's a thing. So we're still not pushing the narrative of these tag team championship stories forward. So I don't get excited anymore.
It's funny because actually Big Time brought up where's Naomi, and I completely forgot about her. So
yeah, I don't know. And she's my girl. I love Naomi. I don't know if she's injured or if there's some other things she had to go deal with, but I miss the glow. I missed it.
I also thought about Nia Jackson because she's probably coming back soon. I'm assuming. Right?
Well, we talked about this. From the tweets that she's been putting out, we might not see her again until the Royal Rumble.
I think she's gonna win the Royal Rumble this year, coming up. The women's Royal Rumble, she's gonna win. The women. I gotta specify because I know she enters both. So, but yeah.
What happens if you win both? Now that would be something.
Wow, I don't even want to think about that.
I don't see them doing that, but it was like that.
That'd be crazy. Wow.
If
anybody should wish me R-Truth or Santino Morello, that'd be funny. Then that would make it a complete joke. But
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next match, which features The Miz fighting against Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is going in as your Intercontinental Champion, and apparently he's represented by Sami Zayn, who was also chokeslammed by the Undertaker in Madison Square Garden. I had no idea. What happened? I had no idea. What's going on with the Calbot? I gotta turn off that Streamlabs because next time I turn on my Streamlabs on my OBS, I gotta make sure that doesn't turn on. I'll fix that later.
It's called joking, Cal. I'm having fun.
No, I know, but like I didn't want it on because the people are doing the commands and like this is like our group show. Like that's like for my streams. We're talking about Shinsuke Nakamura against The Miz. So if you look at the top Dragon Lord, you'll see the match that we're talking about. It should be up. I think I'm pointing the right way. I never point right on camera, but it's definitely up here. So Shinsuke Nakamura actually has a mouthpiece, which is good for him, right? Like I've been saying, he needs a mouthpiece because he's a great in-ring performer. He just needs a mouthpiece. And one of the best talkers on the mic is Sami Zayn. So, but I kind of like seeing Sami Zayn on his own. I don't know if he's injured or not, but I'd rather see him doing his own thing, right? Well, this comes out to the problem where when we have 472 people on the roster and only one pay-per-view where everyone's going to be on it, you're not going to see people you want, such as like we talked about earlier, like Elias and Rusev and Cesaro and this guy, what's his face? I just said Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, all those kind of people. Instead we're seeing Shane McMahon, right? But whatever. What I'm saying is this match, it's cool that he has a mouthpiece. Like I said, I'd rather see Sami Zayn on his own, but it's cool that he's doing this, right? Maybe someone like Aiden English might have been better with him, but Aiden English is now doing the NXT UK, I think, commentary.
Cool,
but this was a pretty good match. Like, I mean, like, Shane, what did I say Shane for? Oh, God, Shane's in my head now. Shinsuke, kind of was lackluster, not his normal, like, strong style self. He didn't really see any of his great offense until later on in the match. Miz did his great, like, he did the it kicks, he did, like, his corner clothesline thing that he does. Miz, looked great, and, like, I think it would have been his 12th time. Yeah, where the hell's Rusev? I don't know. I think it would have been his 12th time winning or something, maybe. Or 11. It would have been a record tying, I think. Record tying. If Miz won this, it would have been a record tying. I think it's double digit, big time. It's definitely double digit, I think. I don't think it's 9. So, he looked good throughout the match. He was about to win it because there's a beautiful Kinshasa reversed into a, what's that move called? Skull-crushing finale. However, Sami Zayn got up on the turnbuckle, distract the referee. Then Shinsuke. Then what's his face? Miz chased him around the outside of the ring, and then he got Kinshasa on the outside of the ring, got put back into the ring, got Kinshasa into the inside of the ring, and got 1, 2, 3 pinned. So I mean, I love seeing the Miz, the Intercontinental Champion. I don't think there's been any better Intercontinental Champion in our time, in our like this new generation's time, since like maybe like I always talk about like Randy Savage, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and the Honky Tonk Man, all those guys. Mr. Perfect was one of my favorite Intercontinental Champions. Those old school. I don't think there's been any greater IC champion since those guys back then. I mean, if you guys can name a few.
No Stone Cold.
No.
You're
was
forgetting
like
Jericho, by the way.
But Jericho's like, Jericho is probably like a world champion, right? If you had to give a title to Jericho, he's like world champion tier, right? Whereas people
he's had during his like prime, he had a lot of Intercontinental titles. I feel like
he's had like every title, like he's had the European title like several times. He's had every title pretty much. But what I'm saying is like when you attribute a one championship, like he's the heavyweight champion level, right? The main card title, main card title level. So is someone like Stone Cold, like you said. I think Miz, even though he was a great WWE champion, I think he's known to be that mid card guy, and his claim to fame that he is so proud of, as you saw from his passionate promo, was the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, that's a good one, Dragon Lord. HBK was a great Intercontinental Champion as well with Razor Ramon. Like Razor Ramon, like that's back in the day too. Razor Ramon was one of those guys, Intercontinental Champion. But HBK is known for his World Championships as well.
I get what you're saying now, as even being known as that.
Yeah, like
mid card. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah,
like,
I'll give that to you.
It means so much to Miz. Like I mean, like it means the world to him. Like, and you saw it in that promo. I actually watched the promo again yesterday because I just thought like how much I missed the Miz as like being on the mic more, on the camera more. But yeah, Shinsuke's still your champion, which I want to see him do more with. I think if he had a better mouthpiece than Sami Zayn, I think Sami Zayn's a great mouthpiece, but he needs to be doing his own thing, not wasting his time with Shinsuke. You need someone like Aiden English or something like that, being the mouthpiece for Shinsuke. Delisha, your thoughts?
I didn't care about this match at all, to be honest. We haven't really done much with Shinsuke, even when we're pairing him with someone like Sami Zayn, who deserves, I think, better than just being someone's mouthpiece. But that's just me, because I just really like Sami Zayn. Yeah, I didn't care. To be honest, I feel like there wasn't even much of a story build up here with the Miz, and if there was, I do not remember it at all. And then we had that stuff with the Taker last week for no reason than just for Taker to be in MSG. So I didn't care. So I didn't care who won or who lost. I was just like, let's just move on with this match and on to the next one.
Tom. And before Tom goes, Big Time said Miz is on his way out of the WWE because of the backstage stuff and all that. Yeah, he was getting bullied and stuff like that, and there and heat and all that. But he turned his around and he's on his way to a Hall of Fame career because he did bring that prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship and that he loved so much. And even his world title reign, people didn't like him then, but now they probably appreciate him more because of what happened with John Cena. Like John Cena, like you always have those two people who are paired off like Rock and Stone Cold and all those kind of things. Brett and Shawn. You can't really say that about John and Miz, but for Miz, John Cena was probably that heel until Daniel Bryan. I mean, not heel, rival, until Daniel Bryan came along, and that became more personal kind of thing. But for Miz's championship, the heavyweight world title rivalry, it was John Cena for him. Your thoughts, Tom, about this match and Miz and Shinsuke?
Well, as far as Miz goes, you're right. I do agree. He's probably one of the best Intercontinental champions of our time, probably the best. I do think he's kind of like Jericho was for a while, where yes, he was a world champion at one point, but at this point, he's perfectly happy just being a a mid card guy, a mid card star, like he is. That being said, the this match got real boring when they cut Sami Zayn's mic. It was fun when he was just yelling throughout the beginning parts of the match because it distracted you from the fact that these two had zero chemistry together and it was awkward. And this is something we're kind of starting to notice with Shinsuke, that he doesn't work well with someone whose style doesn't perfectly match his. He doesn't play well with guys like The Miz, a WWE style guy that kind of slows things down sometimes, that likes to play a different style. It just doesn't work a lot of times with Shinsuke, and that's probably why he hasn't had a bigger run.
I have two things to address. Big Time for. He was right about Miz getting. If Miz wanted to win his ninth championship, the number that I was alluding to was that they combined his Intercontinental with U.S. title for the record-breaking 11 number. Was he has eight Intercontinental, 2 U.S. title championships. So had he won this ninth one, it would have been 11, or that would have been a record-breaking something. I don't know what maybe mid-card championship, but you're right about that, Big Time. And Big Time, the Halo got back to me. She says she's going to enter tomorrow for you. It's the day of the entry. You have to. You can only enter tomorrow, and it's that day. So you can meet Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair tomorrow. So I hope you have a chance and you're free tomorrow. But Halo's going to enter for you tomorrow, Big Time. So I hope you hear that. But she says, I think the tickets are for tomorrow. She's going to get back to me as soon as she enters, and I'll let you know, Big Time, all right? So, good luck with that, and I hope you're here to hear that. But yeah, I really hope the best for Shinsuke. He went from, like we said, winning the Royal Rumble, main eventing WrestleMania. I put that in quotes because, it wasn't the final match, but it was one of the championship matches. And then being on the pre-show and not even being on the show to, now, I agree, this should have been in the pre-show match, but I really hope, he does something with the Intercontinental Championship. But if not, just give it to Miz, because it means more than Miz. But I know Miz is a new child and all that, so probably wants to spend more time with the baby and all that kind of stuff, but, I just don't want him to become a jobber, kind of like we see, how you feel about the New Day, Delisha. It's how I kind of feel about the Miz kind of thing, But it'll happen. Some people got to rise up, other people have to take the backseat for a while, and there's gonna be new superstars always wanting. Like I said, I can't deny because I want fresh faces to win and be out there. All right, next match features the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch against Sasha Banks, and we're gonna lump this on into the Rollins report as well because, as we know, congratulations to Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins for getting engaged. So we're going to the Road Ranger himself and talking about this match.
Well, thanks to the lovely video package that they gave us, this was from Sasha coming back, surprisingly revealing the blue hair. My God, what a reveal! And then smacking Becky Lynch with a chair, beating up Natalya, getting her, thank God, out of the title picture. And this all leads us to this match where these two actually legitimately have heat on each other. These two know each other very well, so this was one of the few matches that I feel like the crowd was actually into. They traded a lot of hard hits. They traded a lot of submission moves. Sasha got her crossface in several times. Yes, I refuse to call it the bank statement. It is a crippler crossface, except without the arm hold. But I digress. Becky got a few disarmers in, and then we got a really awkward chair shot to a referee because they just needed him to be dead for about 10 minutes. He took a shot to the shoulder and he was dead. Real dead for about 10 minutes. While they fought up and down for some reason back to the ring. I don't understand why they do this where they go like up through the arena and then somehow make their way back to the ring. Why'd you go back? The match is over and you know that. Just keep going. Anyway, so they end up back in the ring, and after doing a disarmor on a chair, which I'm not entirely sure the physics works out on this one, but we're just gonna let that go for a moment. And they finally called the match over with Becky Lynch getting disqualified, so this is probably going to lead to a really cool Hell in a Cell match between the two. So, hooray!
Let's
Yeah.
see if Sasha can break the table this time.
Oh god.
Oof.
Her tadpole splash. Hornswoggle does a better tadpole splash than Sasha Banks 5-star or whatever it's called, her frog splash.
You know, I was referencing a time when I think Charlotte tried to put her through a table, but she's so light that she couldn't go through it. It was just funny. Anyway, yeah.
Your thoughts on this match, Alicia?
Yeah, this match was it was pretty fun. I did enjoy it big time. I did, like I said, I did like it. It's just that the way that they were writing the write off of the DQ didn't really sit well with me because like this is one of the things in WWE where consistency just doesn't play out. Because like almost every other time, within like maybe 2 minutes or so, there's another ref coming down from the ramp to take over or whatever. They didn't even check on this guy. Like this guy needs like workman's comp and he needs to be out getting some physical therapy. But they just left him there in the ring to just deal with it for some reason. I don't know. And then yeah, like Tom said, if we going out all the way up, making the effort to go all the way up through the crowd and backstage, why would we come back out? We could have. It still could have been a DQ, and we could have just had that announced in the back. And then I'm like, well, she's very well disqualified anyway, so why didn't anyone else get involved? Where was Bailey? And that's when Cal told me she was still running. But you know, like this whole time, like they're in the backstage and no other one wants to get involved. This actually could have been a prime time for Natalya to get her revenge back on Sasha and for Bailey to get involved with
Don't
Becky
you wish
to,
that evil on us, Alicia?
I'm just saying in the logical sense of things, which we can't state because it's WWE, it's wrestling. There's not always any logic, but there were just some things that we could have written this out to still get the same result, and it probably play out a little bit better. But like Tom said, these two have known each other for like the longest. They started out together for the most part, I believe, in NXT around the same time. They had that connection of being paired together in NXT of why Becky got the shine for the most part and getting when they were going for the title. And so it was really cool to see these two get back into the mix. And we get to see some more killer promos from Becky because she did mention the blue hair. I think this might have been on the pre-show. That's probably why I didn't see it. But basically she was saying, you know, she's been headlining, having the best title run of anyone in WWE this whole year, and she was like, "And what did you do, Sasha? You changed your hair color." So I thought that was great. So
Speaking of hair color, Dragon Lord says it's because she wants to go to SmackDown. So we can fact check that if our fact checker's there, but that's his take. I think that's what it's been on dirt sheets maybe. Another thing I wanted.
I mean, I don't think that's why she would change her hair. I mean, it's been that signature purple and red for a long time. I think it was just
maybe the polar opposite, maybe. Of
a physical
change.
State of a heel.
Another thing I want to say is that while that match was going on, Big Time tweeted out, "Why mustard though? Why?" And I said, I responded because this match wasn't something to relish. Got him. So good. And then another thing is we always talk about how when the Finn Balor becomes a demon, his overall goes up and all that. I've deduced that if you put on a referee outfit, the stripes, your overall stats go down. So your HP is super low. If you're gonna hit by a chair, you're knocked out. I think that's what happens.
There's one exception to this rule, and that is Stone Cold Steve
I
Austin.
was just gonna say it's so cool.
His overall goes to like 1,000, and
Yeah.
the stunner becomes a kill shot.
That's because he's beer fueled. So that negates everything. Alright, let's take this to our next match, which, yep, her true colors. The WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston, defending against Randy Orton. One of which Felicia loves, the other one she doesn't like at all. We'll let you figure out which is which when Felicia talks about this match.
Okay, just to clarify, I don't hate Randy Orton. I've liked him somewhat in this feud. It's just that when he doesn't care, it shows, and that does not get me engaged in the match. Much like to my chagrin in this match, it kind of fell flat. I mean, they were put in a tough spot of following Becky Lynch. So whenever you're following Becky, it's kind of hard to get the crowd revved back up. But as we all commented in our group chat last night, the crowd, they actually, now that you mentioned it, Kyle, you're probably right. They kind of went pretty lackluster right after that Bayley and Charlotte match, and then they picked it back up for Becky, and then they're like, all right, we're done until the end of the night. But yeah, this match was long, and when matches turn long and there's not much like in ring like story work going on, I get bored. I was talking to Big Time on Twitter, and then also watching the Eagles game, and then so this I didn't care about this match. We did get an RKO out of nowhere as contracted. I'm pretty sure it's in his contract that each match has to have an RKO out of nowhere. But the saving grace of this match was Kofi giving him a trouble in paradise, seemingly out of nowhere, so to turn the tables, and winning cleanly to not regain to retain his title. And because this match went so long, and because there was like I don't know this. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we were all still kind of bummed from the last match where in that DQ or WQ or whatever, to where that one had so much fire, not desire, had so much like I said, in the ring story right going on from Randy, like seemingly coming back to like really put Kofi down to stunt his championship reign, to where like him getting a win there meant more than him getting a win here, if that makes sense. But we are probably getting this pushed to Hell in a Cell, probably. And if that's the case, they need to spark some freshness back into this rivalry, because if not, let's end it and give them someone new. I really wish they hadn't have given us that lackluster ending last time, because then that would really, because I feel like a win there would have really cemented his reign so far as being the most like, I don't want to say legit to disqualify anyone else he's faced, but yeah, to give him like that legitimacy as a champion, because this would have been his most like seasoned opponent, so to speak. But he needs more seasoning because Randy is stale.
For
Sorry,
me,
guys.
I really enjoyed the SummerSlam match, I guess, more because it was more hardcore. They went to the outside and all that kind of stuff. But this match, like, it was just like a match that you could have probably saw on SmackDown, honestly, or something. It wasn't really, like you said, it was more lackluster and stuff like that, especially after following like what happened in the Becky Sasha thing. I expected more of these guys because they're very good in the ring, and I expected more kind of like showy counters and reversals because they've known each other so well. They've fought each other for so long in so many matches. So yeah, I don't know. I expect a lot more out of this match, and I hope this ends it. Like you said, you might go into Hell in a Cell, but why? He beat him cleanly, nothing else, kind of thing. Like I just want it to end, and I want to see a new match, new opponent for for Kofi Kingston, not Randy Orton. So like I don't know. I feel like this is it. I should be it. It was a clean match. clean finish. But like you said, we might have to see that for the RKO stable get all the titles kind of thing. So it might drag it out even more, which I'm hoping it doesn't.
Yeah,
But it might.
that's what I thought was gonna happen when we saw the revival. Jim was like, oh, okay, well then Randy will get the belt, and then we'll have Kofi chasing again and be kind of cool because we'll have this heel stable, trying to
Yeah.
you know maintain their evilness. I don't know. So I thought that'd have been a cool wrench into the plan, so to speak, but that didn't happen. Like, or I thought the OC would try to not the OC, the revival would try to get involved, and then we would get like Vicky and Xavier like trying to clear ring so that it would keep it 1-on-1. Still didn't happen for as long as that match went on. It was like there was nothing to help maintain the energy, so to speak, throughout that match. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Yeah. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Why are you apologizing? This match was boring. There was it. I thought it was bizarre that Kofi is like one of the most popular champions we've had in years, and the crowd was basically silent during his entrance. You could his entrance music is not that loud, so it was really awkward. Like Randy Orton, at least when he has dead silence when he walks to the ring, which is every time, you hear that loud rock music, so it kind of covers it up a little bit. But that was weird. The crowd really wasn't into it, and I could understand why, because long Randy Orton matches kind of make me want to beat my head in. It's usually very slow paced with a lot of Randy Orton stares and a lot of slowly walking around. That being said, the finish was cool. The finish was real cool. That Trouble in Paradise and Randy's sweet sell, that where it looked like that kick knocked him clean out. That was great. Great classic oversell. And
Wait, just to say, to who even sold it even more was the ref. That was great because a lot of people, I guess, missed it, but the refs, like, it was like an oh shit type of like reaction. It was like, did you not know this was gonna happen, Chris? Like, well, okay, but that even sold it even more. So sorry, go ahead.
it's like whenever The Rock goes flopping around the ring, it's like that's just funny. That's good. He he just looked so destroyed when Kingston hit that move, which is not that impressive looking. I give Randy Orton props for selling the hell out of that. That was Dolph Ziggler level.
Um, and just to piggyback off what you guys were saying on his entrance, even when after he won it, is celebrating on the turnbuckle and stuff, no one seemed to care. And
At least there was a pop when he won the title.
What?
At least there was a pop when he retained. Like when he initially retained
For a second.
Yeah, everyone popped for a little bit.
But when he was celebrating on the turnbuckle, no one really cared, and like you kind of saw that in his face too. Like that he's like, all right, I guess I should just get out of here. Like because the referee was like saying, let's go, because like no one was reacting.
Probably because they've been sitting there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, probably. I don't.
Yeah.
It might be next.
That Charlotte crowd was tough.
We go in the order of the pay-per-view Dragon Lord, so I think it might be next. I think it is next, actually. Yep, so with that said, I think we're going to move on to the next match, which is what he was asking for. The Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan no DQ match. And once again, there is a tie to Seth Rollins because they were in the Shield together, so we're going to go to our Rollins report guy as he watches something fly across his face. I don't know what that was.
That'd be a fruit fly. They suck.
They left out. They must have left my lab. Do you know that when I did my rotations for my PhD, I dissected fruit fly testicles, and studied their spermatogenesis. Did you know that? True fact.
I didn't know that.
Good for you. That sounds really difficult.
Yeah.
It does. It's so small.
Anyway, honestly, I forgot I was doing this one, and WWE forgot this was going to be a match, so they kind of just hacked it together. There was a lot of cool big hits. The German announce table has become the new Mexican announce table, where it takes all the abuse. I think Rowan fell towards it, and it just fell apart because those things are weak as hell. These were two big guys just beating the piss out of each other for 17 minutes and 25 seconds until we got to the end, where we got to the only cool part of this match, which was the returning Eric, or not Eric, what's his name? Harper. Luke Harper had returned, gave Roman a big boot, gave him a cool clothesline. He looks cut. He looks real cut. They finally got that stupid stained shirt away from him or the weird hammer. He looked like a badass. They knocked out Reigns. They pinned him. So it's probably gonna be some cool like Bludgeon Brothers versus Reigns thing where he probably makes them look like an idiot. But on this night, it was cool. And Rowan somehow won, and this is something you can't undo in history, WWE. This happened. Your man got pinned by a dude named Rowan.
Can we see, like you said, maybe a double team match, 2-on-1 handicap match, and maybe Seth Rollins comes to his aid, right? To help him out, and then
please no more Shield things.
No. But then Braun Strowman comes because now they're kind of the whole thing. He's mad at Seth, and we kind of have like that little reunion kind of thing. And then they completely demolish Roman and Seth. That's what I don't mind seeing that.
That'd be cool.
Cause like I love seeing Harper come back. Cause like I said, I was telling you guys before, like I really thought he was gonna come back when he tweeted what he did on Saturday. But I still want to look like an idiot when I said that. And seeing him come back was great. I love the Bludgeon Brothers as a tag team. I love the whole hammer thing, even though they don't make the hammers look that heavy.
That was pretty cool.
I like their entrances, how they come from opposite sides, look at each other, and walk down. The music is also like very menacing and stuff. But they can't lose as a tag team. I hate when tag teams are beaten by a single person. And like, you know what I mean? Like they're like established tag teams, especially two big dudes like that. It's like when like John Cena took out the entire Nexus. Like, come on, man. And we understand like he's Super Cena kind of thing.
Well, then, in the words of Wade Barrett, I've got some bad news for you.
But like, I want to see him get dominated by the Bludgeon Brothers. I'm just gonna call them Bludgeon Brothers, even though it's probably Rowan and Harper now, but the Bludgeon Brothers. And then maybe Rollins come to save him. But then that's when now we know Braun is kind of feuding with Rollins. Braun comes out and they completely annihilate both Roman and no more Shield versus versus the Wyatt family anymore. Just they annihilate it and that's pretty much it, kind of thing. That would be great. Like that would be done. That's all. Like have those guys just dominate as a stable. Like just go around wreaking roughshod around on everything, kind of thing. That's what I want to see. I would love to see that. Will we? I don't know. But a Hell in a Cell would be a great way to have them all trapped in one place at one time, kind of thing. Like because like Braun can like just rip open the cage and then come in to go stop Seth, because Seth will probably like climb up to the top and like squeeze through the chain link or whatever he's got to do to help save Roman.
Flip the cell.
Yeah, and then Braun will come in and flip the cell and get in there and then fight. That's what I want to see. Felicia, your thoughts on this whole take about Rowan and Harper coming back?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to see him back. Like I said, and like you guys said, he looks healthy, so good. And he looks cut, so good. He has been taking care of himself. I don't know. I'm kind of two minds of quote unquote the Bludgeon Brothers coming back. I don't want them coming back in that gimmick, because in the last 2 weeks we just spent with Rowan showcasing his mic skills, that he can talk on the mic, that he does have a character, and I think that's what sometimes get lost when he's put on these tag teams, especially with Bludgeon, because they're kind of similar to two big dudes who could wrestle. And Luke did most of, if not all the talk. Yeah, he did all the talking. So I kind of hope they kind of get to play off each other. With Roman still going on this "I'm not just a big dude" type of tirade, and Luke is like, "Nah, we not. We can talk shop, and then we can kick your ass at the same time." So and then I don't know if I want them to kind of reformat the Wyatt family, because I feel like Braun's been doing his own thing. We're still establishing the Fiend. He's only had that one match, and he's just been attacking people. So we don't really know the MO of him yet. And I've been really enjoying the Firehouse on Bias, kind of like being me and Tom's like Wednesday afternoon morning talk of like, oh, what do you think that means or whatever. So I'm kind of liking that. So I kind of want that to be its own thing. And let's just keep Rowan and Harper as their own thing, and maybe somewhere down the line, maybe bring him into a fold, but at this moment in time, I kind of like these characters that we're developing with these people right now. So I want them to develop more in that.
So yeah, so Dragon
And
Lord asks,
also, good on the W team for still not putting Roman as like the top guy. I think it looks like they are learning their lesson, or maybe he's like, I need a break. Still, maybe he still wants to be with like his family and stuff like that. But I'm really glad that we aren't still putting skyrocketing Roman to the big picture, so to speak. But he's still getting quality screen time and some good like matches and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, I like that.
Dragon Lord asks, do you think they're going to reform the Wyatt family with Bray? No, I think when I say they reform the Wyatt family, I mean like Braun, Harper, and Rowan. No Bray Wyatt. That's what I say is going to be the
Wyatt has
Wyatt
risen
family.
above them.
And the Fiend is his own thing. Yes, the Fiend is his own thing. And maybe like he can come as a Firefly Funhouse, whatever it's called, like as Bray Wyatt and just like have little stints with them. But the Fiend is gonna be his own thing and run his own race kind of thing. The Wyatt family, I think what you were saying about Rowan being good on the mic, I think he could be the new leader and the mouthpiece for the Wyatt family because Braun's not that great on the mic. You know, all he does is roar and say "get these hands" kind of thing. Harper is good on the mic, but like he's just coming back. I feel like Rowan could be the centerpiece of that new Wyatt family.
He is an
yeah.
intellectual.
So yeah, and Rowan did a good job with this feud. Yeah, so I think he could be the centerpiece and leader of the new Wyatt family kind of thing. That's what I mean by the Wyatt family. I don't want the Fiend to because the Fiend's doing his own thing. But yeah. The fact that he did a good job will be no Wyatt ruining it until in the future there probably will be. But right now the Fiend's gonna be doing his own thing, and as when I say Wyatt family, I'm referring to the trio of Rowan, Harper, and Strowman, and Rowan being the centerpiece, the thing. But yeah, hopefully no one gets hurt. Hopefully they all stay healthy, and we get them going well. This brings us to our final match of the evening for the Universal Championship, featuring the former Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins going in as the Universal Champion, defending against Braun Strowman. And once again, since Rollins, it's going to be the Rollins report from the Road Raider himself.
Yes, the Rollins report, where once again Rollins was given nothing to work with. Him and Braun just spouted catchphrases at each other until we finally got to this clunker of a match. Things happened. Braun threw around Seth for a little bit. Seth did some moves on Braun to no avail because Braun just randomly fluctuates in how strong he is. Between one F5 brings him down to a finisher knocks him down for one because reasons. So Rollins gave him like 50,000 different stomps. Because because he wasn't using a curb stomp, you see, he wasn't able to keep him down. So I think everybody can agree with that one. So he had to give him about 50,000 of them, and then on the 50,000 at first one, he was finally able to put down Braun Strowman. There was even a 5-star in there, much better than Sasha's, as Cal would like to point out. So Rollins retains his title in a very forgettable match, but the interesting parts came after the match, where as he was standing on the stage, we all knew that the Fiend was going to have his... But the match isn't interesting. I'm moving on, damn it. Fuck the match. Great. That looked scary. That was scary. He was about to fall. Well, before he jumped, he looked like he was about to fall off that rope. That was scary.
I'm on mute. Sorry. Thank you, Arrington. Yeah. So I was saying they did have a cool spot where Braun Strowman jumped off the top rope, and landed on Seth. Seth took it really well. It looked scary, like Tom was saying, but it I don't know. It just looked the angle was cool. It looked like he had like so much solid force coming onto Seth Rollins. So I really enjoyed that spot. That was a cool spot.
We've seen big guys jump off the top, but for some reason it feels different when they're like the size of a tower.
Yeah. Yep,
So
thank you
that
guys.
was
Yeah, I had it on mute for a second.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we see big guys come off the top rope, but like we see Kane do it all the time, and Kane's a pretty solid mass as well. Not like I'm not talking about like a flabby lug big guys.
I think Braun's got like 70 pounds of muscle on Kane, so
Yeah,
he
so
looks
that's even more
significantly bigger.
impressive. Yeah, it's because it looked like he was gonna stumble, like you said, but when he came out like a missile, like it literally, I really thought it was like a missile coming at Seth Rollins. That was kind of cool that he took it too. But then like his knee was hurt, so he couldn't really pin him. But that would have been the end of him. That would have finished. Like I'm surprised he wasn't a pancake after that kind of thing. But yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just want to talk about that was a great spot, and the 15 million curb stomps, and I did like how they tried to sell Braun stronger by the
Jumping back up thing and the kick out
but
one.
not even one counts, just like boom before the ref can even get down early in the match, like boom. So I always say like, why do referees always have 2 counts? Always have 2 counts. Sometimes they got 1 count. I like that the referee didn't get down for that, and he kicked out. That was cool to see. Like that's the little kind of like idiosyncrasies I love seeing, or the intricate little detail that they force. Before we go to what happened after the match, Delisha, any thoughts on this match before Tom wraps up the match, post match, I should say?
Sure. Like, it was another match I didn't really care about. Mainly because I feel like it was just thrown together. Like I like Braun and I like Seth most days. It's just that, yeah, I think like Tom was saying, like them two together. I don't know, like putting it against each other for this particular match just didn't do it for me. Like there were some good spots, like you said. Like I didn't mind the top rope dive because I don't think I'm not even know if like Braun could physically contort his body into like a frog splash position. I don't know, or maybe he has to jump further. I don't know, but it was actually I do like it when like the big guys go up top because it's not something you are used to seeing or it's not supposed to be the norm, so to speak. Um, so when they do go up there, you're like, oh snap, shit just got real. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing with Braun because he keeps losing. So I don't know how, like I'm getting like numb to that. So I'm just like, oh, I don't expect him to win against top tier guys. So I just don't get excited. I guess maybe that's what it is.
Well, I think
I'm
this
talking
is.
this out as I'm like going. I was like, I think that's what it is. I don't
the
know.
reason why we had this match and it was thrown together is for what Tom's about to get into, and what I was saying a little bit earlier too. It's all being put together, molded. Because I hope for once the WWE storytellers do a good job. They've always let us down because the way that we write it never comes out the way how we write it, and like we usually, in most cases, we write it better than in our heads. We write it better than they do, or how it ends up. So the way I plotted this out since talks of whoever's about to show that Tom's about to talk about, talks of that were happening since like prior to SummerSlam about this guy facing
that,
Hell in the Cell. So
that I agree with. When in this particular scenario, yes, it worked. But I mean, like in general, when we put Braun against the top tier guys, he doesn't, like 9 times out of 10 he's losing. So that's why
I agree with that. I'm just saying about why you said why these two were thrown together. I'm saying it's for that reason that we're
that's what. Yeah, sorry,
So,
I didn't mean to say for this particular match. I just meant in general. I can't get excited because we keep showing Ted Braun can't get the job done. But yeah, so let's go into the probably the best part of the night.
So Dragon Lord is saying, do you think Braun Strowman will become the new Undertaker? No, I think Braun Strowman's already lost that mystique.
Not even close.
Braun Strowman's definitely lost that mystique. Undertaker always had that mystique when he first came in. Braun Strowman had that mystique when he first came in, when he wore that black sheep mask or whatever it was, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, who's this big dude?" But then ever since he like became whatever he became and like started losing all that, he's lost that mystique that the Undertaker seems to have kept until more recent pay-per-views. I mean,
even a lot of times when the Undertaker lost, when he had his mystique, it usually was by some like nefarious means or some sort of heroic action or some just unprecedented amount of force that kept him down for the 3 count. But we've seen Braun go down to an F5. We've seen him get kicked and stay down. So he's really lost that unbeatableness.
Well, don't forget, the first time Undertaker ever lost WrestleMania was to an F5, so you can't say it wasn't an F5 that... But like, I know what you're saying. Undertaker, when he's lost in the past, here's my old school references, he's been like destroyed by an entire stable. They jump onto his coffin when it's a buried alive match kind of thing, or a casket match. Like the whole stable jumps onto the casket, then like smoke comes from the casket and he's reborn elsewhere. Like there's always there's still a mystique behind Undertaker losing back in the day. Braun Strowman never had that.
I also feel like because we're in such a different time period and like WWE's phasing. I At this point in time, I cannot see there will never well in general there's never going to be another Undertaker
That's
because
what I was going to
it's
say. Yeah.
yeah he's just that
He's a unique character.
yeah, and I feel like his type of character, the way he has been portrayed from his inception even until now, that it can't be replicated because of, like I said, of the time that he came about. It's kind of like he's one of those timeless characters that like they can try to duplicate, but they'll never replicate. You know, just like a Stone Cold or The Rock, that you can try to replicate those personas, but these people took it to such another level that they are on a different. Like we're always talking about like the Mount Rushmore of so and so. These people, they're their own planets. Like there is no other monuments that we can compare them to make to for someone else, and it's unfair for to even try to compare someone to them. In my opinion. So Braun is. I mean, I don't want to say it, but he's more apropos to maybe like a Big Show, as in the big guy they can use to facilitate whatever they need to get done.
Bingo.
Um, yeah, we have. He doesn't. He's not yet has as much heel and face runs, but they've come pretty frequent. So it's whatever storyline we need a big guy in, that's where we put Braun.
All right.
But the
Yeah.
fans still love it, so it's still getting over at this point in time. Still, they
Speaking of
can
what
work
the
with it.
fans love, Cal, I think it's time to move
Yeah.
on to what happened after the
Yeah. So what
match, eh?
happened after the match? So yeah, there's gonna be no Undertaker, and Big Time says Braun Strowman has ended. Social media's ended Braun Strowman's mystique. Okay, so go ahead, Tom. What happened after the match?
So, after the match, Seth Rollins was doing his thing at the top of the stage, like Seth Rollins does, lifting up the title, acting all happy. And of course, the lights go out. We hear the cool, screechy music that we've heard a few times before. And we see Bray Wyatt show up as the Thing, or as the Fiend, not the Thing, uh, having Seth Rollins in Sister Abigail position, giving him the Sister Abigail on the stage, which I'm pretty sure hurts the Fiend more, but no one cares right now because the Fiend is cool, damn it. And then with the lights cut once more, we hear some more cool music. Gets back up and gives Seth the mandible claw, which he is doing his damnedest to make look cool. And by nature of the Fiend being cool, the mandible claw is now cool. So, that sets up our Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins and The Fiend, which I'm going to jump in and give my predictions. I think this is going to go one of two different ways, and I really hope it's the latter. The first is that Finn Balor comes back, saying he's going to be all demony. He's going to show up as the demon, and one of those two is going to pin Seth Rollins and look really cool doing
I
it.
don't think Cal like that.
No, I don't like it either. I hope it doesn't happen because the demon and the fiend needs to be saved. But the second one, this would be really cool if they did this. If the fiend comes down for the Hell in the Cell match, but it's just Bray wearing his sweater, wearing his pants, wearing the weird man bun, and he comes down as the Firefly Funhouse dude. Has a weird, awkward match where he's like half selling. Seth is doing a move and knocking him down, but he gets right back up like, "Ha ha! That was a good move. That was a good move, Seth." And he just stands there and takes offense after offense, and then after like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, lights go out for a while. You hear the cool music. Lights come back on. He's dressed as the Fiend. Does a couple big moves on Seth, squash, done, champ. I hope that's what happens, but it's probably going to be Finn Balor coming back to mess with this Hell in a Cell somehow.
Delisha, your thoughts on the Fiend and all that?
I really like the portrayal that we've got tonight. I mean, this is one of the most coolest things probably since Becky Lynch's like tyrant of going like heel but then anti-hero. This is probably the coolest thing in WWE right now. So I am happy that so far we're getting some. good storytelling, meaning we still don't know what to expect. And when WWE can keep me on like not being able to predict everything, I love that. I don't want to know what's going to happen. Which is also why I don't read like the dirt sheets or anything like that. But the portrayal of the Fiend, whenever you add the strobe lights, I guess it makes anything looks more cooler than what's actually going on when all the lights are on. So that's why the Man of the Claw is getting over. Yeah, have a nice day. Um, so I'm excited to see where we're going with this. I did see some like chatter on Twitter that people think that they might be pushing the Fiend too soon for a championship. But I mean, how long can Seth really carry this championship belt, anyways, as a face? So it's again putting in that freshness of something we've already seen before. So I think it's also maybe too soon to get that Demon Balor and Fiend match going, or maybe not, because I guess Hell in a Cell would be appropriate. I don't know. Has it been 2 months already? I don't know. Also, congrats to him getting married. Side note. So I don't know if I want that yet either. And then I do like your portrayal how we get the Fiend and Seth and Hell in a Cell, or uh, Bray and Seth slash Fiend.
It
So that'd be pretty cool. So I
it
don't know.
depends. It depends how quickly he can change out of that sweater
Yeah,
and how
yeah,
quickly he can get that mask done up. Because I'm shocked with that mask. That could have looked real dumb, but it looks cool.
yeah. He's gonna have to get some practice shots. He might have to consult some models because they're pros at changing quickly in the back. So they may need to get some consult on that. Definitely gonna have to do a dress rehearsal to see how we can get this production going on. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And again, something fresh to a title match that we've seen over and over again. So I mean, not between them two, but in general,
And
how
how
title.
plus how cool would it be to have that universal title on random segments on the Firefly Funhouse? The best part of Raw, the only part of Raw worth watching.
All right, so I gotta disagree with a lot of things you guys said so far. We can't forget Alexa Bliss is on Raw, so that's another good part of Raw. So there shoots that thing out. The mandible claw is probably the stupidest move I've ever seen. It looks like I'll give you this. Like he did, the first time he put on Finn Balor looked good. When he put it on Seth Rollins, it looked good. When he did to Mankind or Mick Foley, whatever the character he was at that point, it was Mick Foley, I think. It looked so bad. And there's other people he's done it on, and it looks so stupid. So like, it's how well someone sells it. It's not a good move until you sell it well. And like Mick Foley, who's been doing the move to everybody, could not sell his own move. It looks so bad. It turned me off to that move so much. But when I saw Seth Rollins take it last night, that looked cool. And when Finn Balor first took it, that looked cool. Now, so what you're talking about is in Hell in the Cell. Yeah, that would be cool. I think it's time for Seth Rollins to drop the title, even though he dropped it to Brock and all that kind of stuff. It's time to drop it for a long time, for a while, right? I say that the Fiend should win it, and he'll hold it. And Finn Balor doesn't need to come back anytime soon. Let Finn Balor take his time off with his that he wants. He just got married, like you said. Let him take that time off. Eventually, they're like, who could possibly beat the Fiend, kind of thing. Well, the Demon could beat the Fiend. That's how they bring him back. Like it'll be like, it kind of like they'll have some promo in the ring or something, and no one, he'll be beating everybody pretty much, and it'll take Finn Balor to come back and because Finn Balor is kind of much deserving of a championship, a major championship, because he won it, but unfortunately due to Seth Rollins, he was injured in that championship match and had to relinquish the next evening. So he was officially the first ever Universal Champion, if I'm not wrong, but he had to relinquish it right away because of an injury. So he still owed that title in my eyes. So I feel like maybe Finn Balor comes back and he's like, you know what, I never really lost that belt, I deserve it, and he'll keep trying to fight and fight and fight, and he can't beat him, so he'll take the Demon to beat him. But when the Demon beats him, maybe eventually that's when the Wyatt family will actually attack him. The Fiend will, like his Fireflies will attack the Demon. Maybe that's the only way he could lose, that kind of thing. But eventually, the Demon will prevail in the long run and win the championship. But I do see a good feud between these two, because we've seen like feuds before them. But how can we change it? Well, we have a Fiend now, we have a Demon now, but we also have a third party of the Wyatt family that I'm calling. Eventually, because like the Demon Finn Balor I don't think he's ever lost. I don't think he's gonna lose. So it would have to take the Wyatt family to interfere with the on the Fiend's behalf to beat the Demon, and then eventually the Demon can maybe, I don't know. We also have the OC and all that. Like there's all these other factors that can kind of get involved. But I think it's ultimately, the way I see it is Bray Wyatt, the Fiend is gonna win the championship, hold it for a while, and the only person who's gonna take it away from him is the Demon Finn Balor in the future, but not for the near future. I don't think. I think you should hold it for a while. So any more thoughts on this? Oh, one more thing I want to say about this was that it was, so I was like, oh, okay, like I was waiting for the lights to turn off and all that, because I suspected the Fiend to come back, Fiend to make an appearance, but then the WWE thing came up. So that signals the end of the show. I love how they did it after the copyright WWC kind of thing. Like they've done that before when someone showed up on Raw like a while back. When they showed the Raw thing early, I think it was the CM Punk pipe bomb. Maybe it was. They showed the Raw end thing early, and then it's supposed to be like off air kind of thing. I love how they did the Clash of Champions circa like 2019. Blah blah blah, and then the Fiends thing come on. So that was cool. I like that little another intricacy that I was talking about, the little idiosyncrasies that they have that they do. That's really cool.
And to build on that, Cal, not only should the Fiend win the title, I'm going to go back to your constant old school banter that he should not defend it at every pay-per-view. The Fiend should only show up when the Fiend damn well pleases to defend his title.
Right.
Maybe Bray shows up in his sweater and apologizes for the whole situation, but he can't technically defend the title because he's not the Fiend. Do some weird stuff like that.
He doesn't know where it is. Maybe he doesn't know where it is. Maybe he doesn't know what the title is. Because maybe they're two different personalities kind of thing,
Exactly.
But the funny thing is if he did have the title in the Firefly Funhouse, he'd be like, oh, we have a new guest this week. And it's just like they're sitting there with like a little cup of coffee and stuff. Like, that would be hilarious. Like, think of all the stuff. Like, WWE should really get us to write for them or something. I don't know. But, like, that would be
so
great.
much fun to be had.
All right, so with that said, we're going to pretty much wrap up the show. But before we do that, we have to do our finishers. And we're going to start with Tom. We're talking about his low point, his high point, and his overall grade.
Let's see. Low point. Raw Tag Team titles. This was dumb. High point. The Fiend. Yeah, there were some cool moments. I'll give a lot of this. There were a lot of cool moments, but the Fiend showing up and beating up Seth Rollins, obviously the best. So that. Overall grade, C-. We got to go home early. Nothing was offensively bad except for the tag team titles, maybe. So, honestly, I'll take those two and give it a passing C-.
What do we always say about the tag team divisions? That roller coaster that we're always talking about, right? Delisha, your finishers.
Yeah, my low point, I think I am going to go with Shinsuke and The Miz because for the reason I said before, there really wasn't any big build-up, and this match just fell flat for me, and I didn't really care. My high point, I think I'm going to give it to the production value overall. I don't know if they have done this last week review, but if they did, I just noticed at this review that when the match, I mean, of course, I know that when the match started, they like lower the lights, but they really like highlighted or brightened up the ring, so like it's like to where it's like noticeably like everything else is dark around it. And I don't know, I thought that was like a cool little new feature that they ever did. And then the production of getting the Fiend over at the end of the show, I thought that was pretty great. And it was like small things like interwoven with that, and some of the highlight packages were really, really good. They have some of the best when they go to our favorite. They have some of the best like highlight packages, like back to like when we in the Attitude Era when you were getting like really good like highlight package build up for the match that was coming on. So kudos to the production team for working hard on that. And overall, I'm agree with Tom. Straight up C-. There were some good points to the show, but overall, it didn't keep me engaged throughout. And if you don't keep me engaged, I can't give you anything over a C.
So to the point of your production thing, I agree with you. It was very well done. The Fiend's entrance, like the way Fiend came in, the promo packages, the lighting I'll get to in a second because I have something to piggyback off of that. But also the whole Harper thing. When he came in, you didn't know he was there until he booted him. You still didn't know it was him until he turned his face, and they zoomed up on his face, and that was very well done by the production crew as well. As for the lighting, we don't really talk about other companies, but I think they might have gotten that recently from AEW, because for AEW matches, for championship matches, they black out the entire ring, including
Okay.
even the referee, even the announcers, and there's just one spotlight on each competitor. And I noticed that their last pay per view that they did that, where it's just the entire ring became black, and it's like in this corner, blah 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 blah, and they showed then they had the one person with the belt in that, or maybe it was NXT pay per view.
Yeah, I was say I do know in NXT they do utilize
Was it NXT
that
UK?
too.
Maybe it was NXT UK. I don't know if it's AEW or NXT UK, but it was one of them that did completely black it out. I think it was AEW though. Completely black it out. One maybe Big Time could fact check this one because he watches AEW as well. I think they completely black out the ring, and then just the competitors are in a in a thing. But we're gonna talk about what the chat says. The WWE champion. I don't know what that. B plus because of the Fiend. I think he says the WWE Championship match. Dragon Lord says the WWE Championship match is the worst. The high point is the Fiend, and he gave it an overall B plus. Big Time says the same thing. The WWE Championship match was the worst part about it. The best part was the Fiend, and I think he gave it a C minus. As for me, my low point was actually the Bailey point. I didn't really enjoy the Bailey point. I actually did enjoy the Orton Kofi thing better because that was actually a match compared to what we saw with that. High point, what I have to say as a whole collective, is the Wyatt family. I'm going to say, except for Braun Strowman. The Wyatt family. So the Bludgeon Brothers and the Fiend, I should say.
The original Wyatt family.
The original Wyatt family. The Rowan match was great with him. Great. They really used that no DQ thing to the fullest. It was fantastic. All good spots, I thought. Good hard spots. The Luke Harper entrance, like I said about the camera not even being on him. The boot, the zoom in, this facial reaction, that was great. And then obviously the Fiend's entrance. I'm gonna actually give it a B minus. I enjoyed it. I did like some of those tag matches as well, especially with the Revival's finisher and how they hit Big E Langston with that finisher on the outside. So overall, it wasn't that as bad for me. I really enjoyed it. I think I saw something dropped from the rafters. I don't know if you want to get in and say anything about the pay per view. Is he there next to you?
You got thoughts?
No point. No finisher.
Nah,
Okay.
he's tired
Right.
from work. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought about it.
And see the whole paper.
So before we that actually the way she won. Yeah, I agree. It was pretty bad. So before we wrap it up, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Tom. Where can we find you and what you've been up to? Because I know you've been working on some stuff.
Well, as always on Twitter at Rorayer3, you can find if you search the Duncan Zed Show on YouTube, you can find the new podcast I do with Ryan. If you like my brand of snark, I certainly bring plenty of jokes to the ridiculousness that is movie news and how dumb it can be sometimes. And then we talk about some fun movies and go home. So it's fun. I enjoy it.
Duncan said, "What a ripoff of Game of Thrones. Who would rip off Game of Thrones with their
No one
channel
watches
titled
Game
name?
of Thrones. Get out of here. No one
Yeah,
watches
but
that
you have a
silly
clever-
show.
I've never heard of that show. Is that new?
Tom show? Oh, Game of Thrones. Oh,
We're joking about Game of Thrones
oh.
because no one watches it.
Delisha, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha Renee. I don't know, Kyle. We might have to kill this game of trying to find Joe on Facebook because no one's doing it. Like we have stuff that we might want to give away, but I don't think no one's really finding the time to, or maybe they're not on Facebook anymore. I don't know. Is Facebook a dying app? I don't know. But if you still want to play, I will give you guys one more shot. You know, if you want to find Joe Butler, our fact checker, this guy right here, because maybe they're new and don't know who you are. You know, you just drop in from time to time with your facts, and they just don't know who you are. But you find him at Joe Butler on Facebook, and then I'm telling you guys, if you find him, and I can see proof that you tried to accept him as a friend, I might give you something. I'm not telling you what that might be, but you never know. It might just be a good job, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so me and Cal and Nicole, we're working on some things with like After Talk and some end of the year stuff with At Talk and AfterMat as we are starting to get into the home stretch of 2019. Where did this year go, guys? I say this every year, but yeah, so stay tuned for that, for some cool things that we're working on as they come into fruition. I'm pretty excited about those things. And Just pretty excited to be here with you guys every month talking wrestling.
Dragon Lord, what did you want the link to? You gotta specify before I finish my wrap up. But yeah, so make sure you guys check out Tom. I should put his things, or Tom has a link for his channels. Cause don't forget Zed reviews as well, and Duncan Zed. Check out that. Tom, you can drop the link in the chat because you're a mod, so you can do that, and also your Twitter. But as for me, the People's Champ Cal, you can find me over here on the Kingslayer Network, also on Twitch at Kingslayer Network, no space, and on Twitter at KingslayerNet. I'll be doing games every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Currently, I just beat Gears of War 5, and I beat Marvel Ultimate Alliance on Thursday nights with Halo_Smythe. But I will still be doing Marvel Ultimate Alliance on Thursdays because we're going to do all the Infinity Rifts and stuff like that. But as for now, I'll be doing Octopath Traveler Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. However, if we do have an AfterMat on that Monday, I will preempt the show, the gaming show, and just do AfterMat that day because I'm usually busy from school and all that. I'm tired, so I don't want to overwork myself. But the next time you can see us, it's right above us, is Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. Let me know if you guys like this format better too, because like I said, when I originally cropped it for 3 people, so you can see we're not stretched anymore. But I also just in case I added a banner above us. So tell me if you like what pay-per-view we're currently carrying, which is that way. It'd be cool if I could just like reach across the leashes thing through Tom's thing and then just point up, but I can't do that. But yeah, so Clash Champions is what we're currently covered today, and the next time will be right above us. The next AfterMat will be Hell in the Cell, which is the pay-per-view itself is on October 6th, and we'll be covering that pay-per-view on October 7th, the Monday after at 7:30 Eastern. Do not forget, though, this is going to be after the the supposed brand split, because now SmackDown will be on. I don't think the draft. I don't think will happen yet. Maybe it will. I don't know, but on October 4th.
October 11th and 14th
Okay.
after the move.
So right after, thank you. So there's our fact checker, Joe. So it'll be after our AfterMat will be the draft. So, but it'll be the first episode after the SmackDown moves. Because pretty sure October 4th is the move to Friday Night SmackDown.
And Hell in a Cell is October 6th.
Yeah. So we'll have one episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But with that said, we'll see you guys next time at AfterMat, Hell in a Cell. Until then, guys, make sure you are keep slamming the haters and be the champion of your dreams. See you guys later.
Night.
Peace.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on